मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लाङ्घायते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणम्। नमयों विष्णुपादाय श्रीगौरप्रियमूर्तये श्रीमते भक्तिवल्लभतीर्थगोस्वामिनामिने। कृपया क्षमतामपराधिजनं खलु शायुतशक्तसुदीननरं सुपथे परिचालय सर्वदिनं प्रणमामि च माधवदेवपदम्। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमोऽस्तुते। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, 8th chapter, verse number 25. Vipada santuta sasvat tatra tatra jagadguro bhavato darshanam yat syat apunar bhava darshanam. Kunti Devi is offering prayers to Supreme Lord Shri Krishna. Her children and she was put under many troubles repeatedly. Previously we heard that Devaki was only troubled one time because she was put in prison and then later she was released. But in my case, I have been repeatedly put under troubles. And each time the trouble was there, you rescued us. Therefore, in this verse she is telling, Hey Vishwapati, she is telling, Hey Vipatpati Krishna, Vishwapati Krishna, Hey Krishna, Master of the all universes, जे सब विपद उपस्थित होइले आमादेर भाग्ये पुनर्जन्म हितकारक रहितकारक अर्थात मोक्षप्रद तोमार दुर्लभ दर्शन लाभ घटे. May all those calamities or those troubles come to me, come to us constantly or again and again, in which we are getting an opportunity to see you, which will free us from, which is freeing us from our repeated birth and death. That will deliver us from this material world. Such a calamity is most welcome. Here, yesterday we heard the purport by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. She is telling that I welcome all those problems in which we are getting your darshan. Because there is one poet in India who says, Dukh mein sumarina sab kare, सुख में करे न कोई. जो सुख में सुमरन करे, so dukh kahe ko hoy. It is said that in troubles, everyone remembers the Lord. But when in happiness, no one remembers, everyone forgets him. So he says, if one remembers even in happiness, then why will there be distress? That's what he says. But we will not go into the second part. According to the Gaudiya Vaishnava Siddhanta, if we see, dukh mein sumarana sab kare. When in trouble, one is remembering the Supreme Lord, then that distress is most welcome. Because smartavyam satatam vishnum vismartum na jatuchit. The rule is to remember Supreme Lord always and not to forget him. That is the, guiding principle of all the Shastras. In the Shastras, that is said that you remember the Lord always and never forget him. Now, if when we are in trouble, we are able to remember the Supreme Lord, then the trouble is most welcome. We need to welcome such a trouble because we are able to remember the Lord. Satyam smartavyam Vishnum. It is the injunction of the scriptures that we should remember Krishna always, and if that remembrance is possible in trouble, at the times of trouble, then that kind of trouble or suffering is most welcome. So here Kunti Devi, that is why she is telling that please give us those troubles more and more, repeatedly or constantly, because every time we are put in trouble, you have come to rescue us. And we got an opportunity to see you. Seeing you means we no longer will have to see repeated birth and death, means we will be liberated from this material conditioning. It is not that Kunti Devi is materially conditioned, but this is the highest teaching that Kunti Devi is giving to all of us, that we should not fear to face such, troubles. Those troubles should be welcome because, such in those troubled situations, our remembrance will be more. I was talking to one devotee yesterday. So I was just expressing that these days I'm not able to concentrate properly on chanting, I'm not able to perform bhajan properly, my mind is wavering. So I was just expressing that there should be some some kind of what do you call in English? I'm not getting the proper word. Jhatka, jerk. Some kind of jerking is required, so that there will be some sincerity in bhajan. Otherwise, going on, chanting is going on. All other activities are going on. There is reading Bhagavatam, reading Chaitanya Charitamrita. Everything is going on, but there is no that sincerity, or there is no depth in it, no feeling in it. Just doing it for the sake of doing it. Chanting, but for the sake of chanting. Reading scripture for the sake of reading the scripture. But there is no feeling. Because when there is some, the Lord gives a forceful jerk, at that time we will open our eyes. Otherwise, everything seems normal. So it is actually required in Hari Bhajan, in the process, that some kind of shaking is required from inside. Lord, somehow He has to make some arrangements. Then there will be more dependency. There will be more thinking about the Supreme Lord. I have seen several times it has happened, during the process of sadhan bhajan, it happens that, regularly everything goes fine. But suddenly some kind of, that which has been not expected, unexpected thing, something unexpectedly, some, forceful jerk comes. At that time we become very, very alert. Oh, this material world is temporary. Oh, I have committed so many offenses to Gurudev. Oh, so much offense to Supreme Lord. I am not chanting properly. Then if that jerk comes, then our sincerity in bhajan will be there. Otherwise, just doing it for the sake of doing it. So, in the context of Kunti Devi's prayers, if life is going on nicely, everything is smooth, then you don't really care to, see Supreme Lord. Okay, Krishna is my relative, my friend, he is coming and going. But when there is this problem, Krishna is coming and helping, then, you see, I was in such a precarious situation, Krishna had come and rescued me. That remembrance will be more. So, this kind of situations are required. They are required. And the prayers of Kunti Devi is suggesting us to pray for such troubles. Such troubles you pray. We will understand when the troubles come, and then, after the trouble is gone, we will realize that at that time trouble was there, but my sincerity in bhajan was there, profoundness was there. Particularly health is not good. Health is not good. Then anytime we feel that, anytime we may go, maybe 1 day, 10 days, 15 days, 1 year, 2 year, I don't know, let me try to do more bhajan. But once the body becomes all right, okay, I'm going to live for a long time, no problem. I will do it leisurely, no problem. So these troubles actually are not troubles. These troubles are our wealth. That is why Vipadi Sampat, yesterday we heard in the purport, right? These troubles are our wealth. We think that wealth, prosperity, happiness, this is our wealth. We are hankering for it. But Kunti Devi is telling that the troubles are my wealth. Why? Because every time there is trouble, there is your remembrance, there is your presence, there is your darshan. Therefore, what more should I ask for? I don't ask for any happiness or peace, so-called mental peace in this material world. I only ask for more troubles where I can get your darshan. Srila Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur writes in the commentary, Prakrita bhoga parayana vyaktigan indri tarpane badha prapta hoilei apna dikke vipadagrastu mane koren. So Prabhupada is going to a very, very fundamental definition of what is trouble. What do we see a trouble as? What according to us is a trouble? It's going to a very, very fundamental thing. We see trouble as the one that comes as a hindrance for our material enjoyment. What is trouble? According to us, trouble or suffering or anything is that Prakrita Bhoga Parayan Vyakti, those who are materialistic or sense enjoyers. For them, Indriya Tarpane Badha Prapta Hoile. If there is a hindrance in their sense gratification, then they say this is a trouble. That person or an object or a situation they see to be troublesome or suffering because they see that there is a hindrance in their sense enjoyment. That is the fundamental definition of suffering according to a bhogi, a materialistic person. Bhai shokha eshana prabhriti vritti samoha jeev ke vipatgami koriya sansare unnati koribar jonno pravritt koray. This fear, lamentation and desire. Why fear? Someone fears, therefore in order to avoid such circumstance, he is trying to make some arrangements. Oh, summers are coming. It's going to be hot. Therefore, let me try to quickly, do something that will give cooling to me in my house. I will buy an AC. Oh, winters are coming. They are going to be very cold. So, in the fear of some suffering that is going to come in the future, we are trying to prepare today. So, this desire, lamentation, so that I may not lament tomorrow after I am dead, who will take care of my child? Therefore, let me invest some money in the insurance company, or let me take some mutual funds or something like that, so that my bank balance will be increased, so that I don't have to lament. Therefore, this fear, lamentation and desire, these are the things that are actually putting a living entity in the suffering, and they are falsely trying him to make advanced in this material life. We are advancing in this material life, material world, due to fear, lamentation, and materialistic desires. This is the purpose, or this is the true, driving principle in our material advancement. But this is the actual vipat. This is the actual trouble. Why? The more we are bringing these things into us, the more we are going away from our original life, living style. Now, one day I was coming from Calcutta. Recently I went to Calcutta and coming back, and then there were a few people discussing so many things. And then we were talking about the artificial intelligence that these days we have become so much dependent upon. We have become so much dependent upon artificial intelligence that Stephen Hawking, if you see in Google, YouTube, Stephen Hawking's statement is there. Artificial intelligence is the last or the supreme invention by a human being that will become their own enemy. This he has predicted. Artificial intelligence is the greatest invention by mankind. But this artificial intelligence is going to be their own enemy in the future. Why? Because already so much manpower is replaced by computer power. Computers have replaced man, isn't it? Many places people have no job. Why? Because what 100 persons can do, computer can do in 1 hour, isn't it? Calculation, we used to have ledgers and these things calculating manually. One clerk, what he can calculate in 1 month, a computer will calculate in 1 minute, isn't it? Of course, you need to make a data entry and all these things, but computer can do the calculation very quickly. Like this, everything. Surgery, robotic surgery has come, isn't it? Robotic surgery, heart transplantation or this or that, a robot can do everything. What will a doctor do? They don't have to employ 10 doctors. They will employ only 1 doctor who can operate that robot, and then finished. So 9 doctors lost their job. So in this manner, we are making advancement. And we are thinking that we are going towards a very, very fresh and new world. We are going to say a very new world, fresh world, which is free from all kinds of troubles. But the thing is that these things will become a trouble on you only. Slowly everyone is losing job. And the way in which a computer can learn is million times superior than what a human can learn. Today what we don't know, Google knows everything, isn't it? There is nothing that Google does not know. Why? From Google anything can be learnt. If a robot is asked to learn, he can learn from Google. His knowledge, of course it's only theoretical, but yet his knowledge, when compared to theoretical studies only, is superior. So in this manner, we will not go into that subject. Artificial intelligence is a very deep subject. That's going to be a very miserable thing. Stephen Hawking himself, he himself told this. This is going to be an enemy of the mankind. They are actually giving water to their own enemy. And nobody can stop it. We are so much dependent. From here, if I want to go to Calcutta, I will ask Google, please show me the path how to go. Google Maps. Earlier days, this is what we were discussing on the path. Earlier days, we used to stop by and then ask a shopkeeper that I want to go to this place, how to go. These days, Google. Which means you are giving information to Google that you are going to Mayapur. Google is knowing. You are thinking that you are getting knowledge on how to go to Mayapur, but actually Google is knowing that you are going to Mayapur. Computer knows that you are in Mayapur now, isn't it? There is a location finder, right, in your mobile. So mobile means internet knows that you are in Mayapur. Maybe your father does not know. You have lied your father that I am this and that, but your Google says that you are in Mayapur. What your father, your mother, your brother, your sister does not know, Google knows, computer knows. So who is better? Computer is better. So I told in the meeting, while we were coming, that one time it used to be called as computers are idiot boxes. But in the future, humans are going to be the idiot boxes. Computers are going to be the intelligent boxes, and humans are going to be the idiot boxes. This is what the world is heading towards. And we are calling it as advancement. And there is no way that you can escape from it, because the entire world is relying on it. And if India does not do, or if some Pakistan does not do, some other country does not do, you are a backward person. Finished. So in order to make your living proper, you have to depend on internet. There is no other way. The scientists have made our dependency so strong that there is no escape from here. There is no escape from here. You are forced to rely on it. There was one recently, I think 1 or 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I don't know. One day there was no internet. For one day there was no internet. How many crores and crores of rupees had been lost on that one particular day? You don't know. On one day. So now, who is more important, human or internet? Internet is more important now than human life. That is why, I am just, those all the points are coming, maybe just out of it, but still I'll try to get back into what I'm arriving at. These days, that's why when you go to anybody's house, the first thing you ask is, please charge my mobile. My mobile has no charge. Earlier, please give me water. Now, please charge my mobile. Do you have internet connection? I want Wi-Fi password. Means we are not knowing that we are forced to depend on these machines so strongly that now if anybody asks us to calculate something, we will immediately take a calculator. Earlier days it was not so. Pen and paper. Now if you use pen and paper, by the time you calculate how much is it, I would have calculated 10 times using a calculator. And if I give to computer, it would have calculated 100 times. So actually we are thinking that we are advancing, but actually we are digging our own ditch. We are digging our own ditch. And we are falling trapped to our own inventions. We are thinking that we have invented great things, but we are going to be trapped. Actually we are getting trapped. But still we have no out. We know that everyone realizes this. It's not that the world knows. The world knows. Stephen Hawking told me the world knows, but they have no way out. This is what Prahlad Maharaj has already told in Srimad Bhagavatam. What? A man thinks that alone he is not getting happiness. He gets married. Then he thinks that with wife and me I am not happy, I should have a child. He gets a child. After getting child, he thinks that I shall have a house, I shall have a bungalow, I should have a vehicle, I should have more friends, I should have furniture, I should have relatives, I should have dogs, pets, pet animals. In this manner, the living entity, in the process of trying to find happiness, seek enjoyment, he is bringing so many things that finally he becomes like a cobweb, a spider caught in a cobweb. He is not able to come out of it. Like a spider, he builds a web, and then into the web he enters, and then he does not find a way out of it. It's a cobweb. And now we have World Wide Web, WWW. Spider is a cobweb, and we have World Wide Web. So means we are finding our own web from where we have no exit. Scientists have very beautifully invented. It is someone's, thinking, or some intelligent thinking, I should say, to trap the entire world into this. So this is the kind of web that we are in, that we cannot come out of it. In the process of advancement, here he is telling that, Prabhupada is writing in the commentary, this is Vipada. This is the actual trouble. In the name of trying to drive away our fear, drive away our lamentation, and to fulfill our desires, these are the actual three things that are giving trouble to us. Kunti Devi is telling that troubles that are coming, in which we are able to take your darshan, they are not troubles. But these are the actual troubles. Where there is a hindrance, I see this as a hindrance in my sense enjoyment, and therefore to drive away my fear, lamentation, and to fulfill my desires, whatever I am doing, is the actual trouble that is making us more and more conditioned in this material world. সেই সকল তাহাদের অক্ষজ জ্ঞানের ফলমাত্র. This is due to their ignorant thinking only. They are not intelligent. It is due to their ignorance. They are thinking that, this is troublesome to me. আমি কিন্তু তাদৃশ ভোগময় বিচার অনুমোদন করি না. Prabhupada is writing in the mood of Kunti Devi, I am not in favor of such bhogamay vichar, hindrances in material prosperity. She is not telling that, because we had all these hindrances from material progress. It was not her prayer. Because all these days the Pandavas have been deprived of a kingdom. Forget about kingdom, even the minimum happiness they are supposed to get. They have been repeatedly tried to, the Kauravas have repeatedly tried to deprive them of it. But Kunti Devi is telling that give such opportunities more. If she were also thinking that, we are not able to make material progress, we are in our material happiness, these things are becoming hindrance, then she would not have prayed for more troubles. She is praying for more troubles because even though they are hindrances in my material progress, or in our material progress, they are the cause of our liberation. That is why even Vritrasura, he prayed like this, that I am not praying for becoming the souvenir, the sovereign of the entire continent, or I don't want to become, attain the higher planets, nor do I want even liberation. What do I do? What do I do with all these things? I want only your devotees to be my friends, or I want to make friendship with your devotees. This is my only desire. Why? Vaishnava Sangete Man Anandita Anukshan. In the association of the sadhus, in the association of the devotees, we are always blissful. Devotees, we are not, but devotees are always blissful. For us, material enjoyment gives us happiness. But for those who are actually intelligent, for them, the association of the devotees is highly blissful, and that is what they seek for. So here Kunti Devi is telling that I am not in favor of such materialistic thought, that, to make advancement, these are the troubles. No, I don't see like that. Prakrita drishya hoite jagate ইন্দ্রিয় জ্ঞানে দেখিতে গিয়া আমাদের স্বরূপ আবৃত হয়. If our vision is materialistic, if the vision is materialistic, then because we try to see with the material sense organs, we see all these things as troubles, because my nature of the real self has been covered. I am not seeing holistically, but I am seeing from a material perspective because of my materialistic conditioning. She is telling that Prakrita Drishya Jagate, this material world, which I am seeing with Indriya Jnana, with my sensory power, my knowledge of the self, or my nature of the self, is covered. That is why Atah Shri Krishna Namadi na bhavet grahyam indriye. The wealth of the actual self, that is Lord's name, form, qualities, pastimes, etc. This is the actual wealth. This is the wealth of the real self. But as long as we are seeing with the material eyes, we are only seeing this material world's glitter, and then we are getting attracted towards it, then we will never enter into the core of it. The core is the Atma and the Atma's necessities is Sri Krishna's name, form, qualities, pastimes, etc. This is the wealth. So, if that wealth is at loss, then we will not, we will reject it. Like association of non-devotees. Association of non-devotees is against or anti-devotional, or it is not favorable for attaining this wealth of Krishna Bhakti. Therefore, devotees see that as trouble, not materialistic hindrance as trouble. Some material, material problem has come, devotee does not see it as a trouble, because as long as there is this body will get some or other troubles. But if I am constantly absorbed in bodily consciousness only, then I will see this as a trouble. তখন অপ্রয়োজনীয় নশ্বর বস্তু লাভের আশায় আমরা একেবারে আবদ্ধ হইয়া পড়ি. When our real consciousness, the real self is covered by material knowledge or by trying to make material progress, when this our actual self, our real self is covered, then aprayojaniya nashwar vastu, those that are unnecessary, those that are futile, what is that? Material wealth. Because the material wealth is there today, tomorrow it's not there. Means as long as, probably, at most, as long as we have this body, that wealth will be there. At most. Even before that it might go. But at most it will stay as long as this body is there. The moment the body is perished, everything will be finished. So they are aprayojaniya, they are not our actual necessities. But if our real self is covered, then we see these unwanted things as our desires. So actually Prabhupada is getting at a fundamental definition of trouble. Why we see a trouble? We are seeing a trouble because it is not because it's a trouble to my material, to my spiritual progress, but because of my Atma is covered. Because my mind, my senses, they are totally engrossed in the material world. I see any hindrance in the material enjoyment to be a trouble, but it may not be my actual necessity. That's why Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, in his Antim Vani, he says that while living in this material world, many troubles come and go. I shall not waste my time trying to settle those things. But while living, we should think that what will remain after the trouble has been solved. What is going to remain with me? A trouble has come, I try to settle or solve that problem. But what remains after that is what needs to be thought about while living. Means, troubles will keep on coming, materialistic troubles, as long as this body is there. But what is going to be with me? Means I tried to secure my property. Some trouble is coming for my property. I tried to secure that property. Some trouble is coming towards my health. Corona is coming. I have guarded myself by wearing mask or hand wash or all these things. I tried to rescue. But while living, you have to think that what is going to remain with you is this body that you are trying to safeguard against this illness, or is the wealth that you are trying to safeguard against the thieves. Is it going to remain with you, or is there anything that is what is going to remain with you that you need to really worry about? This is what you need to think as a human being while living. That's what Prabhupada has said in his Antim Vani, in his final instructions. Therefore, solving the problems is not a necessity of this human birth. Problems will come and go. It does not mean that we should not do anything. We need to do it, but that should not be the purpose of our life. Whatever is required to protect the body, whatever is required to save the wealth of Supreme Lord, we have to do it. But the thing is That should not be our only duty. Our main objective should be to serve Supreme Lord, and these things we will do just as a matter of doing it. What is that? Abhyasa. What is that? ए देहेर क्रिया अभ्यास करिब जीवन यापन लागी. I perform the activities of this body जीवन यापन लागी, just for the sake of somehow getting over the rope in this material life. Abhyase, as a regular thing, not as a thing that I will give so much focus on. Somehow I have to pull on in this material world. For that purpose, abhyasa, just like a regular habit, I will do it, but not like a giving lot of emphasis to it or lot of focus or attention towards it. No. This is what is the message of our previous acharyas, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Therefore, here she is telling whatever is worthless, useless, those things only we see as important when our Atma is covered. With materialism, our Atma is covered, then we see, means when we are grossly materialistic, we see all those unnecessary things to be our necessities. किंतु अधोक्षज परम पुरुष तुम्ही दृग्गोचर होइले तुम्ही व्यतीत अन्य प्रकार बंधन आमादिक के आबद्ध करते समर्थ होय ना. But adhokshaj means so far I am in the knowledge of the sense organs only. As long as I am in the knowledge of my sense organs, I will not be able to see you. But the moment we get to see you means we transcend the the vision of the sense organs or the purview of the sense organs. Once we have transcended, we will be able to see you. Once we are able to see you means once you come under the sight of us, at that time no other material conditioning can bind us. Here in the Prabhupada is explaining what is the meaning of trouble in the first place. We are seeing trouble as trouble in material progress. As long as we are in the material consciousness, then we see that all those unnecessary things to be our necessities, and our Atma Vritti, the nature of the self, will be covered. But the moment you give your darshan, because you are transcendental to spiritual, to the material eyes and material, sense organs, then automatically you will become our object of, our your darshan means you naturally it becomes, we are freed from material bondage. There is no material conditioning or anything that can bind us any longer, because the moment we get your darshan, everything is finished. Tomar darshane prithvir javatiya nashwar indriya tripti hoite mukta hai. Simply by your darshan, all the material hankerings in this material will be finished in a flash. So Kunti Devi is telling that whenever we were in trouble, you gave your darshan. Your darshan means, because you are adhokshaja, you are beyond the sense organs, your darshan means all our materialistic sense gratificatory desires will be finished in a flash. They will no longer exist. Therefore, if it is a trouble in which you are coming, then the trouble is most welcome. Because this material sense, conditioning is instantly finished as soon as you come. Tomar seva vyatito bhavabandha mochaner ar anna upay nai. Other than your service, seeing Supreme Lord is also a service. Darshan of Supreme Lord is also a service. We are attending Arati, that is a service. Service means not necessarily, doing some physical activity. Simply our presence in front of the Supreme Lord is also our service. He is pleased. Because anyone is worshipping me, anyone who takes part in my arati, they are very, very, fortunate. I am pleased with him. I bless him. Means we are performing an activity by which the Supreme Lord is pleased. That is service. Isn't it? If those who attend those who participate in my arati, those who participate in my festivals, I am pleased with them. Which means that activity pleases the Supreme Lord. Pleases the Supreme Lord means that is service. Does not necessarily mean I have to do some physical activity. Just being present, our presence itself is that service. So in a similar manner, here your darshan means it is a service. Other than your service, other than your darshan, everything else is binding. Everything else is a cause of bondage in this material world. Therefore, my dear Lord, I don't see them as troubles. Those are material hindrances. We have not got kingdom. We have not been offered material happiness. We have been deprived of the material happiness. I don't count all these things. Because what I see is that we got your darshan. Therefore, let those troubles come in which we are getting your darshan. This is what she is praying. Okay, we will stop here and then continue from the next verse tomorrow. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्री श्री गुरु गौरांग गांधर्विका गिरिधारी श्री श्री राधा मदन मोहन पंचतत्वात्मक श्री गौर हरि की जय। जय परमाराधितम पतित पावन स्तोत्र सत श्री श्रीमद् भक्ति वल्लभ तीर्थ गोस्वामी श्री गुरु महाराज की जय। नित्य लीला प्रविष्टोम विष्णुपाद स्तोत्र सत श्री श्रीमद् भक्ति दयित माधव गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। जगत गुरु श्री भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी ठाकुर प्रभुपाद की जय। श्री श्री रूपानुग गुरुवर्ग की जय। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि श्री गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। जय सर्व विघ्न विनाशनकारी भक्तवत्सल भगवान श्री सिंह देव की जय। भक्त प्रवर श्री प्रहलाद महाराज की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवत महापुराण की जय। श्री कृष्ण द्वैपायन वेद व्यास महामुनि की जय। श्रीमद् भागवत श्रवणकारी भक्त वृंद की जय। श्रीमती कुंती देवी की जय। श्री श्री कुंती देवी प्रार्थना की जय। श्री हरिनाम प्रभु की जय। श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि।